Hello, you wonderful, loving, kind, amazing people. I know you're having a wonderful, loving day because you're here with me on the Love Project. Today, I want to talk about love being your connection to your divine guidance and your divine voice. I'd like to start off with a little story from childhood as to really where I started to understand that divine voice, that love connection is really what we're here for so that we can grow that connection and become closer to God, our spiritual self, and our true divine purpose while we're walking on this earthly plane. See, as a kid, I've always felt this higher calling to greatness, and I never really understood where that came from. I remember going to church and Sunday school as a kid, coming home and playing with my toys with this immense sense of love, comfort, and joy in my gut. And during those periods of times, I would hear an inspiration, a divine instinct kind of telling me, like, this is what greatness feels like. This is love in your heart. Never forget this feeling. And I can remember telling myself as a kid, always remember to stay a kid. Well, that kind of inspiration is something that I woke up with this morning, kind of heavy on my heart, is remembering to stay a kid. And in doing so, I started to remember an example of how love really took over my heart, my voice, and my spirit to help save lives of myself, my younger brother, my best friend at the time, and his younger sister. When we were kids, 11, 12 years old, I was in a bowling league. All four of us, my best friend and our younger siblings, who were both the same age, were in a bowling league. Now, we had two separate times, so I bowled first, and then our younger siblings bowled second. But this was at a time where bowling was over. I think we were waiting for our parents to arrive to pick us up. But we were hanging out outside of the bowling alley on the steps, just talking, laughing like we normally did. Out of nowhere, some older kids, we'll say high school age, walk up and start questioning us. And I don't really remember how it started, but I can tell you at the point, I don't remember what I did, but we got out of there safely and sound. Now, at some point, the conversation these kids started with us had to do with a friend of theirs that was recently in a fight and was cut with a knife somewhere. I had nothing to do with it. Nowhere. I was too young, didn't know anything about it. So as they're talking to us, they say, "Well, you look like the kids that could have done that to my friend." And I looked at my friend, I looked at our younger sisters, and I think the next words out of my mouth was like, "I don't even carry a knife. Like, I don't, like, I'm just old enough to cut my waffles. Like, what do you want me to do?" And he kind of looked at me and was like, "You don't carry a knife? Well, I got one, and I carry a gun." And that was the scariest moment of my life until that point in time. I didn't grow up in an environment where people carried guns, carried knives. I grew up in a suburban neighborhood, and this was in the suburbs. So it was truly, the first time I've ever been in that situation. And I can tell you with 100% honesty, the only thing that I remember is looking around at the faces of the three other people with me and the fear that I saw in their face, in their eyes, when this kid said he had a gun, was something I will never forget. At that point, there was something inside of me. I remember getting like chills throughout my body. I can remember responding to this person with kind, loving words. And it was almost like the divine connection to my higher self, to God, to that divine voice was like ignited like a flame. And I honestly don't know what I said. But all I remember thinking is, we don't want any problems. I am not here to harm you. We're kids. You're much older than us, and we can't defend ourselves if you do anything. And whatever came out of my mouth to this day, I honestly don't remember. All I can tell you is I wanted the best for my friends, for my family, and I wanted all of us to go inside and hug our mothers with tears in our eyes. And that's exactly what happened. That situation passed. We ran inside crying our eyes off. Our parents there to hug us and love us and say, "What's going on?" As we explained it to them, the look of fear in their eyes turned very real. And I lost it. I was shaking. I don't remember how we got out of that situation. I don't remember if the kid showed us a gun or didn't show us a gun. All I remember is a divine guidance to use the right words to get us out of that situation. What I remember is the look of fear of the people that I was with and feeling love for all of them on a level that far surpassed what I was capable of understanding at that point in time. When I was crying inside, I don't even remember being scared. I just remember loving everyone and being happy that I could hug them. There was this point inside where I started to understand later in life that that circumstance, that situation was a message to show, to teach from, to share within the future that we're all here to be love. We're all here to look at everyone around us, to feel love. Now, while that circumstance is long past, I have long grown out of that, there's still the message of be and feel love, even in the face of the harshest danger. There's something to be said as a kid that really doesn't like fighting, has never been in a fight at that point in time, and really didn't want to hurt anyone, to react on a level that not only escapes harm, but shares and love with that person. Now, I remember them walking away kind of smiling and happy. Maybe they were happy they just intimidated us. But truthfully, I remember the situation getting to such a calm that there was nothing there for us to argue about other than, okay, we're just going to walk away now because obviously you kids don't have anything to do with this. And that was the goal, right? The goal was to just go home and go inside and hug our families. I can tell you with certainty, the only thing that kept us there, the only thing that kept me in the situation was not reacting with emotion other than love. Now, let's think about this. How many times does a circumstance in life pop up at our doorstep, pop up to us when we're not expecting it, and we react with an egotistical emotion, something that says, I have to stand here and fight. When in reality, there's a path to getting to what you actually want that aligns with the love that's in your heart. Sometimes it's a job, sometimes it's a relationship, sometimes it's just driving down the road. If you're driving down the road and there's someone cuts you off and you hold on to that anger the entire ride, the ride's going to be kind of miserable when you have the opportunity to let go of that anger and align with love in your heart. Maybe you can think of a better solution to the problem that you're going to be driving to as you sit there with love in your heart. You know, that reminds me of, there's a time I was driving down the road with a good friend of mine. We hadn't seen each other in years, but we're driving down the road. Someone cut me off, and I looked and said, oh, they cut me off. No worries, normal thing. So we're driving down the road. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes later, he mumbles something about that person, and I really didn't get what he was saying. And I looked and I said, what are you talking about? He goes, the person that cut you off. And I'm like, someone cut me off? When did someone cut me off? Did you forget already? What, do you have a bad memory? I said, no, I just I know what you're talking about. I just genuinely let it go. There was no reason for me to hold on to that anger to go buy food for our families. We were going out to buy breakfast for our family. So at that time, my purpose was coming up with the best solution to feed everyone that was with us. And the person that cut me off was just someone trying to do whatever they were doing, and they didn't exist in my world. And in some ways, that experience in childhood that taught me to align with love when someone is threatening me with a gun taught me that whenever I'm in a situation where someone may cut me off, may do something rude, wrong, or whatever, the only thing I have to do is align with the love inside of me and keep focusing on that. Because whatever situation that I'm in front of or I'm facing is really there to teach me how to better align with my love, align with the divine guidance, hear that divine calling, and then let that divine calling and guidance come out. I can tell you, every situation you have in life isn't there to beat you down. It's really there to build you up. Anytime you're stuck in a situation that makes you truly upset and very frustrated, chances are there's some guidance, some love, some better place and a better way that you can look at that situation. If you can learn to let the little things go so that you can embrace the bigger version of yourself that exists, you can align with that guidance daily. You can align with that guidance as just a normal part of your life. Don't let the little traffic problems, the people with loud cars that are cutting you off, they're not part of the equation. They are there to remind you that your calling is somewhere else. What you're feeling in that moment isn't your divine guidance, purpose, or love. It's something else that's pulling you away from it. So as you observe and see these things that exist in your life, start to understand that there's a divine calling of love out there that's going to help you navigate through whatever's in front of you. And if you can align with that love, you can sit there and face down someone that's threatening you, that's in danger to you, or an aspect of your life that's truly challenging you and stopping you from getting to where you want to go. If you can align with the love that's inside of yourself, the divine guidance, the divine words, the divine actions will all be given to you. Should you allow to let go, let love in, and let divine energy and thoughts inspire your motivation, your motivated actions. When you can get to a place where your motivated actions are coming from a place of divine love, guidance from a higher self, that's when you truly make magic happen in your life. When you step back from the control of things going right or wrong and allow the world to exist, there's nothing that's going to go wrong that doesn't give you the opportunity to prove to yourself you're in a place of divine guidance. When that person cut me off and I forgot about it, I had the opportunity to share that with my friend, right? There was a point in time where he's looking at me like I'm crazy and I'm looking at him like, what are you talking about? And as I said, well, to be honest with you, what I've learned is to let things like that go because I'm on a higher calling, on a higher plane. And if I let everything like that hold me back, my emotional state will be so far down here that when that divine opportunity to inspire, to grow, to become what I'm supposed to be appears in front of me, I won't even know it exists. So until I choose to operate with divine guidance, divine love, and on that higher vibrational frequency where all of the magic happens, I'm not going to sit here and argue with people that are not going to the same place. I'm not going to focus my attention on things that aren't going in where I'm going. My job is to align with the love inside that I'm being offered. So as these things pop up, remember, you have love inside of you calling you to a higher purpose. What you're looking at now is a product of yesterday's attraction. Your point of attraction going forward should be love. Thank you for tuning into the Love Project. We're here to talk about love, to share love. I truly hope this message helped you get closer to the loving guidance that we're all here for. Always remember, we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. And the closer that we can align to the true love that spirit is, the closer we can come to living our dreams and making them our reality here in the physical world. Have a wonderful, inspired, loving, and guided day. Remember, we're here to make love go viral because without love, you can't ever really align with the divine self that's inside of you. Have a wonderful, blessed day.